And what's up, guys? Again, real quick, this is a story of it's not actually a story, it's a reaction, just if I may say. It's a reaction of Constantine. It's from Oxford, I guess. Is he from Oxford? Yeah, Oxford Union. So let's get to this real quick because this is quite interesting. One of the most funniest thing I've watched so far today.
Well, first of all, Mr. President, I'd like to thank you for that preview of the 2024 American election we witnessed earlier. And if you're not persuaded to vote for the proposition tonight by that speech by James, I don't know what will persuade you.
Is this satire?
Huh?
Is this satire?
You said, is this satire?
Yeah, like, is this an actual, like,
Oh yes, it's an actual. It's kind of like a presentation. You see how the British universities probably
yeah.
like their lawyers. If this, I think this is a law type of
Well,
stuff.
yeah, it's like a debate room. But yeah, it's Oxford Union, so of course, I'm
Yeah,
just
is he basically like presenting this his kind of view as to this incident. But let's go ahead and see real quick. Let's see what this is all about.
You will not know this, but I was supposed to be the first non-student speaker for the proposition. I've now been the fourth, which means that I now have to thank all the previous speakers for making my best points for me. And I find that the main reason now that I have left to be in support of the motion is that I am so tired of talking about woke culture. That's why it's gone too far, more than anything else. And I thank the other speakers for making.
Hold on, did he just say woke culture?
yeah, just tired of it.
Did I need to remind you that I'm too woke? I need to remind you that I'm too woke. This dude just so woke culture. Yeah, I'm too woke myself.
The points for me because it means I don't have to reiterate the point that no, free speech is not some right-wing reframing of whatever. It's the foundation of Western civilization. Upon this civilization is built and the Enlightenment values that led to it. I don't have to make the point that has been made by far better people in the past that the only way to deal with the problem of racism is to treat people on the content of their character and nothing else. And the fact that woke culture seeks to overturn that is a new form of racism that we must all oppose. It means also I will not use this opportunity to say
What does he mean is a new form of racism?
I told you so, as someone who spent
I don't know. I keep going.
the last 5 years warning people in the West that if we continue to erode our culture, if we continue to undermine our confidence in Western values, that our enemies like Vladimir Putin will seek to capitalize on it. I will not make any of those points tonight.
Huh?
And that is true. That is absolutely true. Do you know that Vladimir Putin banned anything that has to do with LGBTQ
Yeah, yeah,
in Russia?
yeah.
And think that he see what is really going on in America and be like, no,
Well, motivational speech isn't allowed in China, so
what?
yeah, yeah,
Motivation.
yeah, motivational.
That's basically they basically gonna be scared that oh my people are gonna get groomed by the motivational speakers.
Yeah, like all that freedom speech, all that's not allowed over in China.
Damn,
It's too much room for somebody to stand up and rise against their government.
yeah,
Can't have that. So
communist.
yeah,
Damn.
At all.
And my thing that people are complaining in America. I'm like, yo, you guys should leave the country and just go to some other countries and see what's up. People, damn.
Instead, I am not going to talk to those of you who already agree with me, which I imagine is most of you. I'm not going to talk to you because I imagine after everything you've heard tonight, you're going to vote for the proposition. I'm going to confess I will take your vote for granted. Tonight, I am the Labour Party and
Bro,
you are the
he is
Red and Blue.
cold. He is cold.
Now, I want to talk to those of you who are woke and who are open to rational
Excuse me. I am woke.
argument. A small minority, I accept. Because one of the tenets of wokeness is, of course, that your feelings matter more than the truth. But I believe in you. I believe there
And that is the problem right there. Like I said in previous video, you see, when your feelings overshadow the logic, now you start thinking irrational.
Hmm.
Your feelings cannot be, yes, we all have feelings, but you also have to know that there is something that's logic and feelings, and those two doesn't work together.
There are those of you here who are woke, who are open to rational arguments, so let me make one. We are told that your generation cares more than any other about one issue in particular, and that issue is climate change. We're told that many of you suffer from climate anxiety. You wish to save the planet.
Greta Thunberg.
And for tonight, and tonight only, I will join you. I will join you in worshipping at the feet of Saint Greta of climate change.
Did he just say Greta of climate change? This dude is trolling, bro.
Yeah.
He says Greta of climate change. You know who he's referring to?
No, no.
No, it's Greta Thunberg, the girl that have last fight with Andrew Tate on Twitter.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's Greta
That's
Thunberg.
the girl's name?
Yeah,
Whoa.
that's why he says Saint Greta, the climate change girl.
Yeah.
That's her.
Oh man.
Let us all accept right here, right now, that we are living through a climate emergency and our stocks of polar bears are running extremely low. I join you in this view. I truly do. Now, what are we to do about this huge problem facing humanity? What can we in Britain do? We can only do one thing. You know why? This country is responsible for 2% of global carbon emissions, which means that if Britain was to sink into the sea right now, it would make absolutely no difference to the issue of climate change. You know why? Because the future of the climate is going to be decided in Asia and in Latin America by poor people who couldn't give a shit about saving the planet.
Because they're trying to make
No,
their
thank
money.
you.
Shit.
No, thank you.
This again.
He's like, no, thank you.
It's going to be decided by poor people in Asia and Latin America who don't care about saving the planet. You know why? Because they're poor. Because they're poor. I come from Russia, which is not a poor country, it's a middle-income country. 20% of households in Russia do not have an indoor toilet. What they have is an outdoor toilet. And I don't mean one of those nice portaloos that we get here. I don't even mean a Glastonbury portaloo. I mean a wooden shack with a hole in the ground that holds a collected fermented memory of the last
Some houses in Africa do have that too.
10,000 visits.
Yeah.
How many of you are going to go home tonight and say, let's rip out our bathroom and erect a Siberian shithouse in the back garden? And if you're not, why should they? 120 million people in China do not have enough food. I don't mean that they don't get dessert. I mean they suffer from malnutrition. That means that their immune system is breaking down because they don't have enough food. You're not going to get them to stay poor. Imagine you're Xi Jinping, the leader of China. When you were 10 years old, there was a revolution, a cultural revolution in your country, and people came and they put your father in prison. Your mother had to denounce him. Your sister killed herself. And you,
Every
no
villain
longer
has a
enjoying the
backstory.
protection of your formerly powerful father, were sent to a village where you lived in a cave house. And he
So just so you know, before you ask why he's putting this ruthless, is now you see the story. Imagine having something like that happen to you as a kid. God damn, you would be more ruthless shit.
Here you are, decades later. You have clawed your way up the bloody and greasy pole of Chinese politics to be the undisputed supreme leader of the very Communist Party that destroyed your family. And you know that the main thing you have to do to survive and to stay in power is to deliver the one thing that the people of China want: prosperity, economic growth. Where do you think climate change ranks on Xi Jinping's list of priorities?
Xi Jinping, I thought he was talking
A
about
third
Vladimir.
of all children who live in extreme poverty in the world live in India. That means they are starving and dying of preventable disease. Now, about 15 months ago, my wife got pregnant. Not me, because we're old school.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. This is what he just did there. This is
Ah,
what he just did there.
yeah, man.
I basically, I'm mad at you. That is what it's all about.
He's funny.
It's classic.
And for 9 months, we talked about what our boy
Oh
would look
damn,
like,
he
what he
got a
might
machine
do when
gun,
he
bro.
grows up. We looked at baby scans and videos on YouTube about what the fetus looks like at 9 months and 12 months and 20 months. And eventually he was born. And he is this cute little bundle of joy. He's cuter than about 80% of puppies, right? Now, if you said to me that I had a choice, either my son had a serious risk of starving or dying from a preventable disease in the next year, or I could press a button and he would live. He would go to school. He would bring his first girlfriend home. You'd go to university and graduate and become a woke idiot.
I'm not gonna lie though. See, I think some colleges is kind of like grooming people to think locally. Because there's this class I took last semester. It was sociology,
Yeah.
and basically what the professor was teaching is like woke.
Hmm.
That's why I say I'm too woke. I'm too woke for this. So, but anyways,
And then he'd get a job and get
it
married
wasn't
and have
really what I
children and
go
become a
there to
man.
learn. But it is what it
But all
is.
I have to do is press this button. And for every day of my son's life, a giant plume of CO2 is going to get released into the atmosphere. Now, you're all very young, and most of you are not parents. Let me tell you something. There is not a parent in the world who would not smash that button so hard their hand bled.
Of course, that's true.
He doesn't agree.
You are not going to get these people to stay poor. You're not even going to get them to not want to be richer. And so, I put it to you, ladies and gentlemen, there is only one thing we can do in this country to stop climate change, and that is to make scientific and technological breakthroughs that will create the clean energy that is not only clean, but also cheap. And the, no, thank you. And the only, I
Thank
want
you.
everyone to get home on time today, which is not going to happen. And the only thing that wokeness has to offer in exchange is to brainwash bright young minds like you to believe that you are victims, to believe that you have no agency, to believe that what you must do.
Excuse me for a moment. Are you saying that my podcast is trying to brainwash people not to be their own agency? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
To improve the world is to complain, is to protest, is to throw soup on paintings.
He's essentially saying, chop, chop.
And
We
we
got
on
things
this
to
side of
fix
the
and do.
House are not on this side of the House because we do not wish to improve the world. We sit on this side of the House because we know that the way to improve the world is to work, is to create, it is to build. And the problem with woke culture is that it's trained too many young minds like yours to forget about that. Thank you very much.
Yeah. That's where he comes from. He comes from a place of work, middle class.
That's basically what it's all about, though. That's uh, that's what it's all about. But yeah, guys, I just want us to do that reaction real quick before we call today. eh, So you guys already know what time it is. Time to let off. Anyways, this is nice. It's been nice being with you guys so far. Nothing is wrong, if I may say, but if you know what I know. And your last thought on the show before we end the show.
My
Yeah.
last thought.
Mhm.
Oh man. Ah, I feel like I know what he means, and I can't fully relate to the issue that it is that he's like that he wanted to present in that message. And it's like, he's talking about everybody, and there's a lot of things that are distractions. And I feel like as simple as possible, he feels that we should just be a society towards growth. I mean, he's made his little highbrow dabs here and there, and I mean, it's a lot of distractions going on. There's a lot of investments that's going on. To put it short, it's like there's people out here starving. There's villains, or that we call villains, going through things because of poverty, and they have to do what they have to do. And like he said, there's places. How do you expect them to be worried about uh, the the um, the shape, the health of the planet when they're suffering right now?
when when they can hardly eat something.
Yeah,
I think what he's saying in January is basically like you guys are here worrying about the wrong thing.
really wrong thing.
Like you guys are here worrying around about the wrong thing. Why some people can't even so some people worry about getting 1 square meal in a day. Why people are here worrying about, oh, I want to be inclusive, I want to be exclusive. And
Like,
he's not wrong if you ask me. I don't think he's wrong so far. But yeah. Anyway, guys, like, subscribe to the channel. You know what time it is. You want to see more of us? Please subscribe. And we will see you in the comment section. Peace from me from here. And we're gonna see you in the next one.